Why now is your only chance to win. Here's what actor Denzel Washington has to say about his career and life achievements. Unlock your potential.
My son
Because now is your only chance to win. I work 18 hours a day. That's not an exaggeration. It's my reality. And when someone tells me that they don't have time, I look at them and think, really? Because time is the only thing we all have the same. What changes is what you do with it. So I answer, what would have to happen in the next 7 days for you to look back and feel proud? Maybe it's stopping promising yourself things and not keeping them. Like, tomorrow I'll wake up at 7 a.m. Then the alarm clock goes off and the snooze button becomes your best friend. How about changing that? Getting up at the time you said you would is already a victory, a small action that you put in without control. That's the secret. It all comes down to this moment. It's not tomorrow. It's not next week. It's now. Life has a funny way of working. The days seem long, but the months fly by. If you don't seize the chance to be in front of you today, it may not be there tomorrow. We all get wake-up calls, you know. Wake-up calls. Sometimes it's in relationships. You realize you're disconnected from the one you love. Sometimes it's in your finances. You look at your bank statement and think, how did I get here? It could be in your health, your work, your family. Life's phone is ringing and it won't stop. The question is, will you answer it? Because answering this call means saying, enough of living on autopilot, enough of accepting the average. Maybe it's time to raise your standards. Swap that cramped middle seat on the plane for one with more space. Like in a different restaurant. Invest in what you put into your body, your mind, your day-to-day life. You've already overcome the basics. You're here, alive, breathing. Now it's time to reap the rewards. I believe that if you spend too much time being convenient and never get old, it's time to get in the car and start driving. Adjust your route in the middle of the road, but start. The one who gets there first isn't the one who gets there the fastest. It's the one who takes the first step. Think about it. Who do you want to be in 5 years? That amazing version of yourself starts now. Not tomorrow, not when I have time. Right now. If you're not living your now the way you dream, how can you expect your later to be any different? I've heard so many people say, later in life, I'll do this, I'll achieve that. But later is just a reflection of what you're building today. If you don't make progress now, the future will just be an empty mirror. A while back, I decided I was going to go after what I wanted. Someone gave me a chance and I said, I'm going to grab this with everything I've got. I have 24 hours in a day, and I try to make every hour count. Sure, some days I just want to stay in bed, but then I remember, my time is finite. I feel like I'm here for a reason. My family taught me that. We all have a purpose, and I keep asking myself, am I making the most of mine? If I'm not pushing myself to grow, to make an impact, then I'm wasting that opportunity. Here's the truth. Just learning and never taking action is failure. Just taking action without learning is failure too. And just dreaming about opportunities without pursuing them, that, at best, makes you a sidekick in someone else's story. The magic happens when you bring it all together. Focus, learning, and action. We have this incredible potential inside of us. When we connect with the people we love, when we spread light and positivity, Extraordinary things happen, but we only see it if we pay attention to the now. Forget the past, the achievements, the problems. All of that is just noise. What matters is this moment. I've chased opportunities like my life depended on it, and sometimes it did. But I've learned that if the dream changes, you have to change with it. Staying stuck in something that no longer serves you is like carrying around dead weight. I felt this pain. I felt small, like I would never amount to anything, until I decided to rewrite my story. I let go of the anger, the resentment, and said, now it's up to me.
If you are enjoying this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to be the first to receive the release of the next videos.
You know, now I'm in his shoes.
At the 2019 American Film Institute Life Achievement Award ceremony, Washington spoke emotionally about the challenges of sustaining a decades-long career and the personal struggles that have tested his resolve.
And he said, you know, young man, you're good. And I was like, yes, sir, Mr. You know, yes, sir. But to hear that, to get that positive word at that time from someone like him, most important person in my life.
He alluded to difficult times, including his early encounters with hardship and the pressure of breaking racial barriers in Hollywood. He shared a story from his childhood when, in his 20s, a mentor told him to harness his energy for good, a directive that has stayed with him through tough times. Washington highlighted how his wife, Paulita, and 4 children have supported him, especially during periods of doubt or rejection from the industry. What has kept him going is a mix of faith and a commitment to serving others. He famously said, "Put God first," a mantra he repeated in his Dillard speech, and emphasized that fulfillment has come from using his platform to uplift others, evident in acts like funding students' education. As Chadwick Boseman revealed during the tribute, Washington's motivation to pursue acting came from seeing it as a calling, not just a career, which led him to overcome obstacles to leave a legacy of impact and authenticity. These moments showcase Washington's ability to face adversity, whether it was personal failure, social pressures, or the demands of fame, with a blend of faith, passion, and purpose. His reflections reveal a man who turned challenges into motivation, cementing his status as one of the greatest actors of his generation. During a 2016 interview with Peter Travers for ABC News, Popcorn with Peter Travers, Washington opened up about his unconventional path to acting and the challenges of defying societal and familial expectations.
Acting, all I did was work with children. I coached basketball, football, baseball, grew up in, like I said, in the boys club. That's what I would have been doing, I'm sure, if I wasn't, or, you know, slick jive, big shoe wearing buffoon.
Growing up, the son of a Pentecostal pastor, he spoke of church as something like a job, and rebelled against the idea of following in his father's footsteps. He also shared how he went through several career aspirations, pre-med, political science, journalism, before stumbling upon acting during his freshman year at Fordham. Washington admitted to having had a tough time in his youth, hinting at naughty behavior that could have derailed him, as he later elaborated in other interviews. What motivated him to keep going was the realization that it was the only thing he truly loved. He told Travers, "Never do anything else but acting," reflecting on how his failed attempts at other avenues brought him back to his passion. This moment of self-discovery, coupled with the joy he found in acting, fueled his determination to succeed, even when the industry presented challenges like limited roles for Black actors at the time.
most important person in my life.
Keep watching another very interesting motivational video. I'll leave it here on the card. It's worth watching and commenting on. Okay.